Okay, so welcome to the first tutorial here that's going to be me teaching you even though I'm not able to be at school. We're going to learn the basics of how to put an image onto our website. You'll notice here on the screen I've got an images.html file, and all that I've completed at this point is the shell along with my title, and you'll notice between the body tag and the ending body tag there's nothing there yet. Just as a reviewing point, I want to just make sure that you guys know that when you save this HTML file as a notepad file, it's going to want to call it a .txt file. We want to make sure that we overwrite that and type .html the first time we save through. Additionally, second time through it's a little bit confusing, but you want to change this to all files, and that's going to go ahead and show you the files that you're looking for. When it's only reserved to look at .txt files, you're going to think you lost your mind. I know I saved into this file, whatever. So just be smarter than it. It's just a computer. Click all files, and there you go. And click save. All right, now with images, the code is actually pretty simple. It's the first time we're going to introduce a new concept to you guys, that is how to add some attributes to the actual tag. Up until this point, we've just gone with whatever the tag says. We don't fight with it. We just go ahead and accept it for what it is, and the tag with the greater than, like you'll see on the body tag. There's no additional direction for the browser. It's just body tag done, title done, and so forth. So when we do attributes in HTML, we are required to put the tag first and then go ahead and put a space bar between every attribute that we want to indicate for this tag. Now, to put an image on, it's IMG. It is shortened. It's the acronym for image, IMAGE. And then I'm going to just do the space bar. To tell it which image to use, there's a couple of things that have to be true. First off, you have to spell it right. SRC is commonly misspelled as SCR. I do it all the time, so I know it. Additionally, another mistake a lot of students make when they're learning this is they forget to put the space between the image tag and the source tag, or the source attribute. Now, at this stage of the game, there are no spaces. I'm going to hit equals, and I'm going to do two quotations, and I'm going to close my tag here so that I don't forget, because these are the other two common mistakes. We forget to do this guy, or we forget to do the quotations. Now, the way that I'm going to teach this to you, the images that you want to use need to be saved in the same exact directory as this images.html file is. If you save to your desktop, or you save to the My Pictures directory, or you save wherever you save, it's not going to work properly unless you do identify and save those files in the same folder that this file is saved in currently. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my documents directory here and tell the software where everything is. And I want you guys to do this too. So if you want to pause what I'm saying and do this after you get directions, by all means do that. I'm just going to go to my desktop for this save. You guys should be saving into your server folder. So I'm going to just come into here and go to my web design folder, and I'm going to do a new folder, and I'm going to call it images lesson. And then I'm going to go ahead and put an underscore and say Mustoe. How about an underscore? Hold on. So that when you hand this entire thing in, I know that it's you. Okay, you're not Mustoe. You didn't marry him. I did. Okay, there it is. Now I'm going to make sure that all of my pictures get saved into this directory, as well as my notepad file. I'm going to go ahead and do that now because I know I saved this in a different directory. I can always go to File, Save As. I'm going to go ahead and save to the right directory, the same one that I just showed you guys a second ago. So I'm double clicking to get in there. And I called it images lesson. And again, it's going to want to call it a TXT. Be smarter than it. .html. Make sure you do that. Click save. And now just to show you the directory, images saved here in my image lesson Mustoe file, and it's an HTML file. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is to review how to download an image and how to download it properly, as well as how to search for different varieties of the image and so forth, so that we have true control over what size the image is. So that'll make more sense in a second. I'm going to come over to Google, or to my browser, and go to the Google startup, and I'm going to type in Vizsla. Now this is my favorite breed of dog. When my husband and I got married, this is the puppy that we got as a new couple. He's since passed away. I miss him terribly, but it's without question my favorite breed, so I'm going to go this route. Now I'm going to click on the images method here, or link, excuse me, and there are several different choices. Now as you hover over, you may have noticed even before you took a web page class that it will tell you what the name of the file is, as well as the size. In the notes that I gave you, the PowerPoint slides, there are some rules and regulations with graphics. You don't want to choose an image that's too large, because what ends up happening is it takes up the entire page, and it activates your scroll bars left, right, top, and bottom. So this one is a large image, 1024 by 768. That's a cutie patootie face. That looks just like my dog. 400 by 300, I'm going to go that route. Now when I click on it, it's going to come into this mode and give me a larger view of it. I can right click on the picture and save the image as, and then it's going to automatically identify that it's a JPEG. I'm going to leave that alone. Now, what Windows will do is it remembers the last file that you saved to successfully, and that's the one that's going to pop up. If you haven't saved an image yet, it's going to go to My Pictures, okay? I'm going to go ahead and go over to my Windows directory. Oh, not that one. Hold on. My directory that I just created. Sorry. And you'll notice also that Google or the website that created this image or utilized this image has its own little random blah 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 title for it. I'm going to simplify that and just do something that makes sense to me. So I'm going to call it Sad Face. Now it's going to automatically know that it's a JPEG and add the .jpg extension to this, which is the generic extension for this type of photograph or file. I'm going to click Save to that. Now when I come back into my directory here, you'll see Sad Face, and there's the preview of it. Down on the bottom, because I have it set up that I'm looking at some details in the way that I've set this up, it does tell me the dimensions, tells me the file size, has other things that you can specify and so forth, but ultimately you want to choose images that work for whatever content and add value to your site, and also choose images that are not too big, okay, meaning in the dimensions department. All right. Okay, now it's something that I just wanted to show to you that you may or may not have realized in other times that you've been searching for images. Sometimes there are several different size values for this image, so it's not just a small image or a ridiculously large image. In here, when you're in this view, you can click on the dimensions of the image, and if there are other choices of the image in different sizes, they will appear here. Now for this particular example, there's only 4 of the same. They're all 400 by 300. And then there's a smaller version of it on Pinterest, this 236 by 171. If I come back to an alternate image, and I search again, I click on the pixel designation over here. This one's a lot more choices. It shows me, well, a lot of them are the same exact size, but it shows me quite a few different choices. So if I was looking for a smaller version of the file to a larger version of the file, it's pretty neat that it has all of those different choices for you, and you're not forced to go ahead and resize the image in a Photoshop or some other application or whatever. So that's pretty cool. I'm actually going to go ahead and right click on this image and save the image as again, and it's going to automatically remember, like I said earlier, whatever file I just saved successfully to, so I don't have to navigate through that whole nightmare again. And on this one I'm going to call Standing, so that I know that's the picture of him standing up. Now again, make choices based on what the image is and what makes sense to you moving forward. Okay, so it occurred to me that I shouldn't be demoing this in Chrome if you guys are using Firefox. So I've gone ahead and gone into Firefox so that it looks the way that you're familiar with it. The arrow I was referring to for downloads is right here. But again, if you come in and you do a search and you right click, same functionality, you're going to go to Save Image As. It's going to remember what directory you saved to the last time, or if you haven't saved yet, it's going to go into your downloads. And I'll call it Cat 2 so that you can see a different one because they have to have different names. Otherwise, it will replace it. I'm going to click Save. And then in my code window, you'll see my code. I've got image source equals cat, a few paragraph tags going on. I'll get rid of those excessiveness. Standing is the second picture. You'll notice on my page, standing is the first one, standing is the second one. And then the last page, or picture rather, I have is sad face going on. Okay, so I'm going to come back in here and show you one more thing that I want you to do from the very beginning on this, and then we'll move forward. Now notice on here, all of these images just are kind of flying solo. There's no love, there's no message that's popping up, there's nothing that's indicating to me why these pictures are even here. So the first thing that I wanted to show you guys is an additional attribute, and it's called title. Now on this title, it's a little bit different than the title for the top of your page that we learned earlier. You do need to do a spacebar, you do need to do equals, you do need to activate your double whammy quotations here, but this is a cute kitty. I'm going to save over that and refresh my page. And when I hover my mouse over that cute kitty, you get a little love note. That is the title tag in action. Essentially, the title tag is just that. It gives a title to the actual picture so that whoever's looking at the picture knows what the picture is there for. In addition, this also is used for the purpose of if a person is visually impaired, or if a person chooses to look at the web without having images and just do a text-only browser, they'll see what they're missing. They'll see whatever is indicated as what that picture is all about. So again, I'm going to come in to show you this again. I'm going to do title equals, and I'll populate this and say title equals Stewie standing up. And I'm not going to type any more than I have to. Again, I'm going to copy that, and then I'll come here and paste it again. Please make sure you put your spaces. Those are required between each and every attribute name. Stewie looking pathetic. Save it up. Come back to my browser window here. Refresh the page. And then this is the kitty. This is the standing up. There's nothing on that one. And then the sad face is going on here. So go ahead, add your images to your page. Make sure they add some value. If you're talking about your dog, put a picture of a dog that looks like your dog. If you're talking about your school on your page, go ahead and put a picture of Westford Academy. If you're talking about your AAU team or your favorite football team or whatever it is, download pictures that make sense for what it is that you're talking about on that shell image page, shell HTML page, and go from there. Have fun. Thank you so much.